What if I told you that the petrol you are filling today is not the same petrol you used a few years ago? Across India, E20 petrol containing 20% ethanol is being rolled out at fuel stations. The government says it will reduce pollution, cut fuel imports, and help farmers. But thousands of vehicle owners claim they are facing reduced mileage, engine knocking, starting problems, and expensive repairs. So, who is telling the truth? Is E20 India's fuel revolution or an expensive experiment on millions of vehicles? Let's find out. So, this is Aditya Saxena over here, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the E20 ethanol blending case. So, without wasting any time, let's start our video. So, before moving further, it is important to know that what is E20 petrol. So the E20 petrol contains 80% petrol and 20% ethanol, a biofuel made mainly from sugarcane, maize, and damaged food grains. India has steadily increased ethanol blending. Earlier it was E5, that was 5% ethanol, then it was E10, 10% ethanol, and now E20, which is 20% ethanol. The government aims to reduce dependence on imported crude oil while supporting domestic agriculture and lowering emissions. On paper, it sounds like a win-win situation, but the real question is, are Indian vehicles actually ready for E20? Now, the next portion is that how E20 fuel affects the vehicles. So, here's where the controversy begins. So, the first problem is lower mileage. Ethanol contains less energy per liter than petrol. This means that the cars and bikes may travel few kilometers per liter. Drivers may need to refuel more often, and many owners report a noticeable drop in fuel economy after switching to higher ethanol blends, though the actual impact depends on the vehicle and driving conditions. Now, the second problem is engine compatibility. Older vehicles designed only for E0 or E10 may experience issues with higher ethanol blends. Possible problems include rough idling, hard starting, and it may also include engine knocking. It may also include reduced performance of the vehicles, and the manufacturers generally recommend using the fuel grade specific for the vehicle, which means whichever fuel grade is specified for the vehicle, you should use that. Now, the third problem is rubber and plastic damage. Ethanol absorbs moisture from the atmosphere, and over time, this can affect rubber hoses, fuel lines, seals, and the plastic compartment inside the fuel tanks, especially in older motorcycles and cars that were never designed for E20. Now, the fourth problem is corrosion. Water absorbed by ethanol may contribute to corrosions in some fuel system components if vehicles are not designed for higher ethanol blends or are left unused for longer periods. Now, we are going to talk about what the people have experienced after this E20 blending. Many vehicle owners have shared long concerns such as lower mileage, engine vibration, frequent servicing, reduced pickup, higher fuel consumptions, and so on. Mechanics in some areas also report seeing more fuel system complaints in older vehicles after the expansion of higher ethanol blends. However, it is important to note that these experiences are anecdotal and can also be influenced by vehicle conditions, maintenance, fuel quality, or unrelated mechanical issues. There is no clear evidence that E20 alone is responsible for every reported problem. For owners of vehicles certified for E20, manufacturers generally state that the fuel can be used safely when recommended maintenance is followed. Now, you must be wondering that why the government is supporting E20 petrol if it is causing such a problem. So the government highlights several benefits. The first one is reduced oil imports. India imports a large share of its crude oil. Higher ethanol blending can reduce dependence on imported fuels. Second, it is better for farmers because ethanol production creates additional demand for crops like sugarcane and maize, providing another source of income for farmers. Now, the third one is lower emissions. Because ethanol is produced from plant-based sources, it can help reduce certain emissions over its life cycle compared with fossil fuels alone. Now, the big concern is that the critics argue that millions of older vehicles remain on Indian roads. Not every vehicle is designed for E20. Consumers may not always know whether their vehicle is compatible or not. If fuel economy drops, drivers may spend more on fuel despite environmental benefits. They argue that wider consumer awareness and compatibility information are essential as the transition continues. In conclusion, E20 is neither a complete success nor a complete failure. It offers potential benefits for India's energy security, farmers, and emission. At the same time, compatibility matters. Older vehicles may require extra caution, while newer E20 compatible vehicles are designed to handle the blend. As the vehicle owner, check your manufacturer's recommendation before using E20 if you are unsure. Staying informed can help you avoid unnecessary problems. Now it's over to you. So whether you want to use E20 petrol or whether you are going to switch to electric vehicles, it's up to you. Because if you are going to switch to electric vehicles, that is also a very good case, because in that case you will be saving fossil fuels, and you will be using a clean energy source where you will be using electricity for running your vehicle. So that is also an economical option. So it's all up to you, where whatever you feel good. So I hope that you have liked today's video. If you have liked today's video, then please like, share and subscribe our channel Architect India, so that I can bring more of such informative videos on our channel. So this is Aditya Saxena signing off. Thank you all.